Hey there, I'm Tucker and you're watching D&D Daily, where we release new D&D content every day. If you're looking for D&D inspiration and information, then you're in the right spot, because today we're talking about the Magistrate, condemning those thought immortal to a mortal end. If you want to play the Magistrate, there's three things you're going to need. First, you're going to need to be a Simic Hybrid as your race. Second, you're going to need to be a Fathomless Warlock. And third, you're going to need to take the Sentinel feat. The Magistrate was born to a human family, and they lived a peaceful life in their small farming village, until one day a group of mage researchers came and captured his family and turned them all into test subjects. The mages experimented upon them for weeks with no mercy and no care for their humanity at all. In their experimentation, they were turning people into animal-human hybrids, attaching tentacles and claws and maws to people, and changed their physical being entirely, taking them from human to not really human at all. In their experimentation, the Magistrate got tentacles attached to his body, giving him connection to the ocean depths and a fathomless entity. This connection to his fathomless patron allowed him to survive the brutal test that these researchers did. As they killed everyone else that was present there, he was alone able to survive. So the researchers left him in the dust. And as he was fighting for life, this patron gave him the power to succeed. However, this helped him develop a crucial philosophy core to his being, is that magic is too powerful in the hands of the reckless. Magic is meant to help people. It is meant to be a benefit to the world and be a blessing upon it. It is the power of the gods on earth and should be used as such. It should be used to help people. He will act as a judge, sorting out those who are worthy and those who are unworthy to wield magic. Those who are not active in helping people with their magic abilities are not worthy to hold them, and thus their magic should be taken away. His goal now is to judge everyone around him and deem if they are worthy of their magic or not. And he's going to condemn the magic users for misusing their magic. However, he condemns himself of the same thing. He's going to treat himself as guilty of misusing his magic. However, he's going to delay that judgment until he's carried out his mission. The Magistrate also has a differing personality. To non-magic users, he is going to be pretty warm and just a kind of kind-hearted guy. However, he's probably not going to be the most open to them due to his traumatic past. However, to magic users, he's going to come across as cold, intimidating, and abrasive. In either situation, he would try to hide his tentacle appendages so he doesn't frighten the people around him and he doesn't give away who he is to those around him. However, the Magistrate is going to be continually frustrated that he has to rely on his magic in order to take the magic out of the world. He accepts that burden, though he doesn't like magic, but he sees his magic as a tool, not a gift or a blessing. In combat, the Magistrate is going to be a close quarters striker. He's going to use the silence spell and then get up close to spellcasters, using his rapier and sentinel to lock them down in place in his silence field. This is really going to cripple spellcasters, as they can't use a lot of their spells inside silence because most of these spells require a verbal component. And because of their typical low AC and squishiness, he's just going to be able to destroy them just by using a melee tactic. You're also going to use your Tentacle of the Deep to deal extra damage with your bonus action and to reduce the movement speed of your targets if you can't land your Sentinel reaction attack. This tentacle is also really good because it slows their movement speed by 10 feet, and because the radius of silence is 20 feet, if they start out in the center of it, it still gives you a chance to keep them in that silence field if you miss your Sentinel attack for at least one round, unless they use the dash action to get out of that field. Through your Fathomless Patron, you also have the Sleet Storm spell, which allows you to disrupt the concentration of enemy spellcasters from range, and then you can use your Eldritch Blast to pick them off from there. Out of combat, the Magistrate could be the face of the party. He has really high charisma just from being a warlock. However, he would not do very good in dealing with spellcasters, as he would come off as cold and judgmental. The Magistrate also has very good underwater movement from his Fathomless Patron, and from Simic Hybrid you can choose the Climbing Speed ability, which just gives you more versatility. In his downtime, the Magistrate is going to seek out magic users, and he's going to try and spend time with them in order to judge them, to deem them worthy or not. He wouldn't just meet magic users and immediately terminate them. He would want to observe them, see how they treat people, the poor, the rich, their friends, and complete strangers. He would want to judge them fairly. However, when it comes time, he would condemn them for their responsibility or irresponsibility with their magic, and he would swing the executioner's sword. The key mechanics for the Magistrate start out with a high dex score. A high dex score is going to allow him to have a high AC for close quarters combat, and it's going to allow him to get his sentinel attacks in more consistently. Second, he's going to need a higher charisma, which is going to be useful for his spells, but not quite as useful as dex because a lot of his spells won't require a saving throw or have a spell attack. Next is going to be the Eldritch Invocation Eldritch Sight. This is going to allow him to cast Detect Magic at will. This is going to be crucial for him as he can walk through town with Detect Magic on and be able to point out spellcasters without having to really talk to them or see them use their magic firsthand. Aesthetically, we like to imagine this as a glowing eye. He is also going to make sure and take that Pact of the Blade with the Rapier as his weapon, with the Eldritch Invocations of Thirsting Weapon and Improved Pact Weapon to allow him to be even more deadly in close quarters combat. He's also going to have proficiency in Insight. As a judge, he's going to use this a lot in order to see the good from the bad. And lastly, make sure when picking spells to pick ones that are going to really wreck spellcasters, like Darkness or Hunger of Hadar to really limit their line of sight, Silence to limit their verbal components, Sleet Storm to break concentration, and Counterspell and Dispel Magic to just ruin their spells. The weaknesses of the Magistrate is going to start out that he is going to have a low strength, intelligence, and wisdom. They're probably not going to be the best, but they shouldn't be straight garbage. Even though he has a high dex and is able to use light armor, he's still going to have a low-ish AC for melee combat, but not terrible when compared to other spellcasters. One thing that can help mitigate this is going to be the Carapace feature from the Simic Hybrid, which gives a +1 to AC starting at 5th level. And as far as weaknesses go, the Magistrate is not going to be the quickest. His movement speed is just base. He has a climbing speed and a swim speed, but not that much as in terms of advanced mobility in regular situations. As an NPC, I would use the Magistrate to team up with the party to take out an evil spellcaster. Maybe the big bad of your campaign is a spellcaster that the Magistrate is trying to hunt down, and he needs the party's help in order to take him out. He could also be going around scouting the party, making judgments upon them, and they wouldn't even know until he makes his judgment. If he deems them as worthy of their power, he might mention to them and congratulate them on passing his test. But if he deems them unworthy, he would just straight up try and kill them, showing very little in ways of mercy. Another way you could do this is have the party know both him and the spellcaster he is trying to kill. This would put the party in a difficult situation where they have to pick one side or the other. The spellcaster would be arguing why he should live, and the Magistrate would be arguing why he has to die. I think the key note to hit with the Magistrate is judgment. He is going to be judgmental when it comes to spellcasters, and he is going to deliver that judgment with no mercy. How would you use the Magistrate in one of your games? What would you do to make him better? Let us know in the comments below. And let us know in the comments what you thought of this video and all our other videos. And on the next episode of D&D Flavor Build, we're going to be talking about the Brain Boy, the leading mind of Goblin kind. So make sure to hit that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss it. See ya!